All right, today's flight will be from Bear Island to Orlando Executive. As kind of a curiosity, I also wanted to share with you the route or what we already flown on these group flights, starting here from Albany, and these are all the legs that we have flown so far.
I already have a question.
You have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
How did Albany become the starting point of the series?
I finished my last personally flight there at some point. Really, I started in the Boston area because at that point, there were a lot of controllers online, all the time. So we had ATC more often than not when flying that. But then I decided we'll just do the tour and, not to stay at one place. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, weather. It looks very nice. We have basically no clouds to speak about. We have very light winds at low altitudes. I'll switch here to the weather forecast so we can see a little bit more. You can see that there is still some weather system here in the south, and it's been keeping there for 2 days already, I believe, or 1 or 2 days. And there is actually much bigger weather system that's approaching this area, and that will probably be here very soon. So, so you can see there's like like Thursday 0 UTC, Thursday 6 UTC, 12 UTC. You can see that this front or whatever that is kind of approaching this area and should be there somewhere Friday, Saturday. And then we will have thunderstorms in this area Saturday, Sunday. But for now, it's very nice. We have high pressure systems, a lot of them there. And I would say that that's the reason why we have kind of southwesterly winds. And I can see that in the presentation. I say northerly winds, but they're actually southerly winds. So I'll need to fix that. They are blowing to the north, not from the north. All right. Some METARs there from some like nearby fields, nearby to the departure, and there is a METAR for arrival field, and some terminal area forecasts, from the neighborhood, I would say. Okay. Weather again, GFA tool. It's a nice one. So that was wind at 6,000. Wind at 3,000 is more steady, and surface winds are kind of gusty because of the surface. If I switch to clouds, I still don't see anything alarming. We have some clouds to the south, but again, they are quite high for us. So even if we were flying there, it would not be a factor that much. And the weather should actually improve with time. Right, since there is nothing really significant, I'll go forward and continue. Route planning. This is the route I planned, departing from here, basically skirting this lake, avoiding these restricted areas, flying south and then along the river and some visual reporting points all the way to Orlando, taking into account also airspaces. So I'll again switch to the sky vector, and that will allow me to zoom in and do the proper briefing. We would take off, continue south. There are some lakes that I aim to use as my reporting points and timing my legs. There's also the road that we can follow, very big lake. We can cross-reference our position, when we are abeam of this. Then we continue to this water, turn left along the river all the way to, this is like an official visual reporting point again. At this point, I will switch to Orlando Tech, and you'll see why, because this is kind of difficult to read. If I switch to Orlando Tag at this point, it is much clearer and I can actually see what's going on. So this is a visual reporting point, this lake. So we'll follow the river there, Jones River. And from there, the straight path is actually like continue along the river, but that would take us here. And while there is nothing wrong with crossing Charlie airspace, if I can, and if it's not so much trouble, I will avoid it because they are like big runways. It might be landing and departing traffic. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be swept, from the sky by some big metal that's, landing or taking off. So I'll just avoid it. If I were flying to Orlando, Sanford, and there are like those arrival VFR routes, that we would use. But since we are not arriving there, we will not use those routes, to just cross it. We'll avoid that. So that's why I, turn right again here and continue. I'm hoping that I will be able to recognize this little lake because it has an island in the middle. We'll see how that goes. If I'm not able to recognize it, there should be some road and some other stuff. And of course, I will also be timing my legs. From there, we continue to Lake Brantley, which is a great visual reporting point to actually announce your position to ATC if they're online, so they know where you're at. And from there, if we have ATC, then they will tell us what to do. We would continue, they would tell us to join whatever pattern they would like us to join. And we would do that. If they are not online, then we will vector, or not vector, but we will kind of maneuver ourselves to the left downwind of runway 7, I think it will be. All right, so this is like a route in general. Then let's see what awaits us on that route. First of all, there is an alert area. We have caution, high volume of flight training, surface to 4,000 feet MSL. I personally plan to fly under 3,000 feet today. In that case, I don't need to maintain any specific VFR altitude, and I can just fly like I want. So this is just an alert area. We have some military routes on the chart here. Those are those gray lines and depicting like VR or IR. Those would be military routes. You can find details about that route on the bottom of the sectional or on the side of it. Like all the restricted areas, alert areas here, military operations areas, and whatnot. I will be going there when reviewing some of them. As you can see, we will be skirting, or I will be skirting these restricted areas. It's a 2907, and then we have 2910, Alpha, Delta, Echo, all the bunch of them. So I'll just go down and look them up. So 2910, Bravo Charlie Delta. I believe I saw Delta and Echo. So I can see that those two are from 2000 to flight level 230, and this one is from 500 to 2000. The activity is like intermittent, so it's not active all the time. If we have ATC, we can actually query them, just simulate, asking, if what is this restricted area? Is it active? Is it not active? And they would probably tell us that they don't play that game on VATSIM. So we could just cross it. But anyway, I want to know that they are there, but I don't plan to cross into them. Right, what else? There's another military route here. And then I switch to tech map. And what else do we have here? There is nothing. We have the Orlando class Bravo, and we have class Charlie from the Sanford. So since I will be flying at 2,500 feet, I actually will be underflying this shelf. And here we have a floor at 2,000 feet. So I will most likely descend under 2,000 feet. Otherwise, I would need to ask for a Bravo clearance to enter it. So if I want to stay under, I need to go under 2,000 feet by Lake Brantley. So when you are reaching Lake Brantley, you should be already at 2,000 feet, and then you can continue onward. This area here, Class Bravo, is the floor is 1,600 feet, and it's this area that encompasses also our arrival airport. Then, below 1,600 feet, it's classed Delta from the Orlando Executive. So again, coming closer, if I'm talking only to the tower, then I don't want to breach that class Bravo, and I need to descend under 1,600 before I go there. Again, you are there at Lake Brantley, you time your leg, or you follow the road. Don't really know how it's gonna be visible, these landmarks. So always back it up with timing as well. And yeah, so make sure that to stay under. In the examples in the presentation, I have also examples how to request a Bravo clearance. So if you are not feeling like flying that low, you can also fly under. Class Bravo here, just south of the airport, is already starting at 900 feet, and that's why runways 25 and 31 have right traffic patterns, so you are staying on this side of the airport. Any questions to the route itself? I will still go through departure and arrival. If not, I'll just share or generate a navlog. So I'll be flying, like my true airspeed will be 90 knots and my altitude 2,500 feet. I will hit navlog. Okay, this is not the correct navlog. Just need to refresh that one. Again, 90, 2025, sorry, 025. This is a correct. And it will give me magnetic headings that I need to fly and time I need to fly them. Of course, I will still alter those magnetic headings based on my based on my compass card in my aircraft. So I need to correct that for magnetic deviation. Is anyone completely unfamiliar with navigation logs and wants some explanation what those numbers mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take one row. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At some other time, I will maybe demonstrate how to generate those lines manually if you need to. But for now, we start by actually plotting the course here on the map. And by plotting the
Mm-hmm.
course, if you do that on the paper, you also can measure the distance. So the distance is something you know, and the true course is something you know. And this is not a true course, it's 180. This is already magnetic heading, or magnetic course, I would say. So the stuff that you know at the beginning is your true course, and that is track. So let's say I'm doing line number 3, so between third and the fourth user fix. I know that my track is 173 degrees. I know my distance of that leg is 7 miles. So this is the information I have. And let me maybe just quickly copy it into something so I can actually make changes to it. All right, so what I know. I know my, okay, something more visible. I know my true course. I know my distance. That's from what I plotted. In my POH, I calculated that my true airspeed today should be 90 knots. And from the weather planning, from the forecast, I determined that the wind is blowing from 50 degrees and at 12 knots at 2,500. This is like data that SkyVector will give to me. I would need to obtain them from some different source if I didn't use SkyVector. But these are the stuff that I like, information I know already. Now, from the track that I want to fly, and from the wind direction, and from my speed, I am able to compute the wind correction angle, that's WCA. So I know that my true heading will not be 173, but I need to subtract 6 degrees because I need to correct for wind. If I subtract 6 degrees, I arrive at 167, and that's my true heading. Then,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
am I too fast?
No. I'm starting to get it.
Okay. Then, to the true heading, I need to add magnetic variation in the area. You will get magnetic variation in the area, for example, from, where is this line? There it is. There's a magenta dashed line, and it's 6 degrees 30 west written on it. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the magnetic variation in the area. That means that if I want to fly a true heading of 167, I need to fly magnetic heading that is 7 degrees more. And that is, it's 167 and 173. I guess it's just, the rounding error here, because it was actually 630. So let's say that, this is like 7 degrees more. So this is my magnetic heading 173. And by coincidence, it's the same as my true course, but that's just a coincidence because we have the wind correction like minus and the same but opposite correction for magnetic variation. So this is magnetic heading. However, I also, in my aircraft, if I can get into it, okay, I moved. Why did I move? Okay, let me just move it somewhere. Yeah. There, I will just zoom into it. There's a compass card. So if I want to fly magnetic heading 170, that means to the south. If I want to fly 180, I need to be flying actually 179er, so 1 degree less. So that is another correction I will need to make. So instead of 173, I will actually fly 172. All right?
Yes.
Since I know my true airspeed and distance, and wind correction angle and everything, wind speed, I can also calculate my ground speed, which is 96. And if I know my ground speed and distance, I can calculate time. And it's like 4.4 minutes. So like 4 minutes and 25 seconds or something. 24 seconds. So when I am over this user fix, and I will still go and name them, for myself so I can recognize it quickly. I know that I need to turn 172 and fly for 4.4 minutes to arrive at my next fix, which is this one.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You can rewatch the video later to
But yeah.
like see it again. All right. Let's go forward. So that was route planning. Have I covered everything? Military operations area. Have I missed it?
No, you said it.
It was there somewhere. Where was it? Oh yeah, okay. So it's here. It's Palatka 1 military operations area, but it actually corresponds with the restricted area here. Okay, so I'm planning to avoid it. The same applies. You can query ATC about the activity on it. All right. Departure. This is our lovely island. We are departing from today. These are like traffic patterns if we are departing to the northwest or northeast or southwest. Today, if I'm mistaken, and if winds haven't changed, they haven't, we will be using runway 3. And the standard departure is either straight out or left 45 or 45-degree crosswind departure, and it's perfectly depicted here. Since we want to fly south eventually, I would probably go straight out, or maybe I will even turn and like go back and turn more and just continue there. Maybe that's will be a better option, but that's up to you. In any case, straight out departure means that you fly runway heading to at least 500 feet above pattern altitude, in this case 1,500 feet. If you're going for a 45-degree crosswind departure, you can turn start turning as normal as you would stay in the pattern at 300 feet below pattern altitude. In this case, it's 700 feet. But then you keep that 45-degree angle again, at least to 1,500 feet. So you are safely out of the pattern by the time that you start maneuvering. So straight out is simpler. So let me brief the 45-degree crosswind. So I'll take off, climb to 700 feet, turn left 45 degrees, continue climbing to at least 1,500, and then I can do whatever I want, considering traffic around me, of course. The calls that you would use, we are parked at the northern part of the airport, so we will need to backtrack the runway. So something like Bear Island traffic, November 123 Alpha Bravo, is a type Cessna 152 by the shack, taxiing to runway 3. That would be my initial call. Then when I'm entering the
What does by the shack mean?
by the shack, yeah, that means that I'm standing by the shack.
Okay, it's a kind of parking
Yeah,
position.
it's just position, it's like where you are.
Okay, Roger.
Okay, where is my presentation? There. So that's your first call, and then you start taxiing, of course, minding the traffic. Then when we are at the runway, it would be like Bear Island traffic, November 123 Alpha Bravo, entering and backtracking runway 3, Bear Island. And you would, of course, wait if someone doesn't call, hey, I'm landing, so don't go onto the runway. You look around, you check, the arrival path if there is nobody landing there, and if not, then you can enter the runway, backtrack, turn around, and then take off. Before takeoff, it would be something like Bear Island traffic, November 123 Alpha Bravo, taking off runway 3, left 45-degree departure, Bear Island. And that's all that you need to say, and then you take off. When you are clear of the pattern, you can say that you are like Bear Island traffic, November 123 Alpha Bravo, out of the pattern, turning south at 1,500, climbing 2,500, final call, Bear Island. So really, do the call anytime that someone else might benefit from it. That's the general rule here at departure. All right. I'll quickly check if we have any ATC already online, because that would, okay, nothing online yet, no matter. All right, en route. If we had any ATC, we could ask for flight following, and considering the kind of area we'll be operating in, it would be a good idea to ask for it. and you do that by something like this. First, you can call up like Jacksonville approach or Jacksonville Center, November 123 Alpha Bravo VFR request. That will let them know, that you want something, and then your next call will be kind of longer. And then when they have time, they will tell you, go ahead, and then you can pass your message, which would be something like November 123 Alpha Bravo is a type Cessna 152 Slant Alpha, 6 miles west of Lake Diston at 2500, request flight following to Orlando Executive. And I use 6 miles west of Lake Diston because it's an official visual reporting point, which is here. So I would assume that, by the time I want flight following, I would be somewhere there. So I would just report my position as being, 6 miles west from here. And just if you are 5 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, it doesn't matter. It's just they can find you on the radar. That's all. That's the whole reason why you report the position. And then they can answer you something like that you need to squawk some code. You reply that, squawk that code and your call sign, and then they will tell you radar contact. If you have flight following, from time to time you might get traffic alerts. The only two correct responses are negative contact or traffic in sight. I tend to stress it out every time I brief this, but since I have many new people here, remember, you report your traffic in sight only when you see it out of the window. It doesn't matter a single bit if you have the traffic on your GPS unit. That's totally irrelevant. And don't even tell it to ATC. They don't care. So if you see the traffic on your GPS, but you don't see them out of the window, you will say negative contact, looking for traffic, for example. If you acquire that traffic at some point, you will proactively call ATC and you tell them that you have that traffic inside now. All right. Okay. Since we are VFR, really watch for other traffic all the time. Look around. Don't run into anybody, even though there are no collisions probably. Keep track of your progress using the nav log that you generate. And of course, prepare for arrival. Then we have arrival. This seems kind of too much text, but that's only because I have included like 3 paragraphs for different situation. If we have ATC and they have an ATIS, you should already have that ATIS before you are speaking to the final controller. So your first contact with that controller, you can already tell them you have the information or you have the weather. So let's simulate that we have a tower online, and since this is a class Delta airspace and we can avoid effectively all the other airspaces, all the other airspaces which for which we need some kind of entry criteria. So this class Delta might be the first one that we actually enter. We require two-way communication established to enter class Delta. Two-way communication means that the ATC will call us with our call sign. So if we call them and they say something like calling station standby, that means that you have not established a two-way communication yet. If they tell you November 123 Alpha Bravo standby, that already allows you to enter that airspace. You don't need specific permission for class Delta. However, if they tell you November 123 Alpha Bravo, stay clear of Delta, then of course they acknowledge you with your call sign, but at the same time they gave you an instruction which you need to adhere to. So let's say that we are coming in, and just to be like reference it properly, we are, let's say, here over Lake Brantley. All right, that's like comfortable 10 miles out of the airport, which is a good initial contact position if you want to land at class Delta. So when you are there, and I will be using that Lake Brantley in my calls. So it would be something like exec tower November 123 Alpha Bravo. Again, if you don't have a flight following already, then you again say, what kind of type you are. So it's a type Cessna 152 Slant Alpha. Slant Alpha means this is your equipment code. So if you have like GPS aircraft, you will say Slant Golf. Overhead Lake Brantley at 2500, full stop with information Foxtrot. And again, this is just information if they have ATIS. If they don't have ATIS and you checked the METAR beforehand, then you say full stop with weather, and it will let them know that you have that. It might also be a good thing, even say with information Foxtrot altimeter, and say what altimeter you get. That's kind of the most important there. So this is your call, and they might reply whatever. They might reply, November 123 Alpha Bravo, exec tower, continue, or the altimeter is 3021. Join left base runway 7, report 2 mile, something like that. And you read that back. That okay, join left base runway 7, report 2 mile. And then you are flying and you will try to enter left base for runway 7, or whatever other instruction they might give you. And when you are at 2 miles, again, ballpark. You don't need to be exactly at 2 miles. Just judge. Okay, I'm already there probably. More often than not, they will call you before you are able to make that call. It's just they tell you that, so you remind them if they forget about you. That's if tower is online. If the approach is online, and this is kind of VATSImism or something like that. Let's say that there is like a Jacksonville approach online, and of course they control multiple fields in that area. So it's also good to tell them something like Jacksonville approach, November 123 Alpha Bravo is a type Cessna 152 Slant Alpha, overhead Lake Brantley at 2500, all the same up until now, and then not just full stop, but full stop at Orlando exec, because now we are calling, the controller that doesn't need to know, or might not know, where you are flying. And again, with information Foxtrot. If only facility is center, then I would again start with stating that you have VFR request, because that will they might have more traffic, and if you try, if your first call is something like that, you might interrupt something important that they needed to say to someone. And again, you land at, or you say at what airport you want to land. So this is if we are under ATC. If we are not under ATC, then we will be joining standard, traffic pattern for runway 7. That means that we will try to join at the midfield on downwind under 45 degrees. So we will fly something like this, and we will maneuver ourselves before, so we can join that traffic pattern and continue landing. In that case, your call will be something like Orlando executive traffic, November 123 Alpha Bravo, again is a type aircraft, over Lake Brantley, or 10 miles north of the airport, joining left downwind runway 7. And that's just all that you need to say. And at the time that you will be actually joining the downwind, you will call every single leg. That's needed in US. You need to call every time you're turning downwind, base, crosswind, and final. Okay. You can see from the airport diagram, it looks like there are like 2 taxiways, Alpha 8 and Alpha 7. I checked the Google picture, and it seems that it's actually 1. So originally I thought the real masters would just land, and taxi already there. But since the touchdown zone is here normally, and this area is definitely not for touchdown, please don't do that. Don't exit here. Just land and exit, here on Echo. I believe it's Echo. Yeah, it's Echo. We have two FBOs, one is Shelter and one is Atlantic. Again, if we have ATC, you can tell them, we exit echoes and something like November 123 Alpha Bravo, vacated runway on echo to the left, request taxiing to Shelter, and they will give you a taxi route. These strafed areas are non-movement areas, so that's where the ATC jurisdiction ends. If you are already there, you don't need any permission to taxi. It's up to you. You need to permission to taxi when leaving this area. Okay, I believe it was quite a long briefing for a VFR flight, but I thought that it's necessary today. So, any questions to whatever part? And of course, I will be here on Discord also during the flight, so if any question arises, I will be able to answer. Seems like no questions right now. All right.
I think I'm going to be coming in right about the same time as you guys.
You will be coming in?
Yeah, I'm flying in a CRJ.
Oh.
But I am, let's see, where the heck am I? I am 140 miles north of Charleston, VOR.
Well, we'll see. In any case, I encourage every one of you to actually fly this. If for some reason you cannot or you don't want to, I will be streaming this flight on my Twitch as well, so feel free to follow the flight there. Happy flying, safe flying, and I'll see you at Orlando Executive.
Happy flying.
See you there.
See you there.
Rock and roll.
Alrighty, let's start this old bird up. Okay, parking brakes set. Good. Okay, so that works. Beacon navigation, very good. Let's go full mixture. Crank it up a little bit. Allow the fuel flow. Prime this engine. Let's try to crank it. Clear prop. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, something's not right. Let's see. Okay, I actually pulled it off. This is on. Once again. Now this is better. Okay, so let's put 1000. We have the navigation radio. We have the transponder working. And until everyone actually departs, I will tweak this one, and I will name my fixes. It will take me some time. So obviously this is the departure. So Bear Island. I don't need to type. Okay, how do I change it? It doesn't matter really. Make it a little bit bigger. With Bear Island. Good. Next one. I'll just call it bunch of lakes, I believe. Bunch of lakes. That's good. Next one. I will call it like south of Lake George. South of Lake George. Okay, Guano, is it Guano? Yeah, probably Guano. I just say Guano. It will be all right. I will know that it's this point. Then fly along the river. Okay, let's use Lake Woodruff instead. Lake Woodruff. Right. Then we have, and now we're just going in VPDFI, just to identify that spot on the map. And then we have, I will call it Ring Island, or Ring Lake. Ring Lake. Colleagues are already departing. Okay, and then we have Lake Brantley. Good. And the final one is, I know what that is. I just a sea base or lakes or crossroads. Well, final point, I don't even need to name it. Alright. So I will
Scanner traffic, Kodak 36 X-ray, upwind
make
runway
it
10,
smaller.
clear of the pattern, climbing 2500, departing south, final call, Skinner.
I will make it not that small. Okay, well, I can actually.
Bear Island traffic, November 6529 Lima, 1,500 feet, departing to the south. Final call, Bear Island.
Alright, that should work. Okay. Just move a little bit.
Bear Island traffic, Skyhawk 160 on Mike, taking off runway 03 straight out departure Bear Island.
Okay, the elevation should be 6 feet, so I need to alter my altimeter a little bit. So it shows 6 feet. Should be fine. Oh, there we go, someone taking off. Do my run up
Bear
here.
Island traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie, entering and backtracking on the runway, Bear Island.
Okay. Is there anyone behind me? Will be lost, most likely. So let's do my run up. It's either 1800 or 1700, doesn't matter really. Okay, suction's good. Fuel quantity, oil temperature, oil pressure is good. I will switch on the alternator, otherwise I'll just run out of power. And then let's test the magneto. So, right magneto, 100 RPM drop, put it back. And left magneto, the same drop, very good. Idle.
Bear Island traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie, taking off runway 3 for a straight out departure. Bear
Engine
Island.
still running. I'll just enter it a little bit more and lean it a little bit. And now we'll just need to wait. The temperature is 20 degrees, right?
Bear Island traffic, Skyhawk 160 on Mike, out of pattern, turning to the south, Bear Island.
So first thing we'll do is we'll do the 45-degree left departure, turn around, and actually start my timing while over the island.
Bear Island traffic, India Charlie Alpha 5 is a type, icon A5, taxiing to runway 3, backtracking.
Bear Island traffic, Skyhawk 160 Lima Mike, 2700, final call, Bear Island.
Let's check if the ATC is online yet. Can also check in VPilot. No ATC online.
Bear Island traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie at 1,500 feet, leaving the pattern, turning right to the south. Final call, Bear Island.
I don't think so. You can go in front of me if you want. I had to restart the flight.
Sorry, come again?
I had to restart the flight, so you can come. You can go now. There's
Okay.
nobody there.
Okay, thanks. Bear Island traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra, entering runway 3, backtracking runway 3. Bear Island. Okay, strobe lights go on. Okay. Okay, let's put this for takeoff. Flaps are up. Good. Good. All right. Let's turn it around. So, final checks. Altimeter is good. Full mixture. Magnetic heading should be 40. So let's reset this to 40. And I believe we can take off. Bear Island traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra, taking off runway 3, left 45-degree departure, Bear Island. And let's go. Landing lights on. Airspeed alive. Okay. Stay away from the trees. Oh, it's violent. Those are proper gusts. Alright, let's pitch up.
Bear Island traffic, India Charlie Alpha 5, section 2 and backtracking runway 3, Bear Island.
Okay, let's turn 45 degrees. Let's climb to 1,500 feet. Bear Island traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra at 1,500 feet, climbing 2,500, turning south. Final call, Bear Island.
Bear Island traffic, India Charlie Alpha 5 is going to depart from runway 3, departure straight out.
Okay, so my first magnetic heading is 190. Landing lights off. Okay, that's 2,500. Let's reduce. I will also like lean. Maximum RPM. Okay, I'm at Bear Island. So time is 25:40. Just make a note. Departing here. 25:40. Actually, yeah, okay, this is. So let's use it like that. Okay, 190 for 3.7 minutes until a bunch of lakes. And a bunch of lakes, this one. So we'll see. Too much noise from somewhere, so we try to. It's distracting. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's leave it there. Right.
Island traffic, India Charlie Alpha 5, altitude 2000, out Bear Island.
Wind is no joke today. I guess this will be this bunch of lakes that I saw. Let's consult the map. Should be at the level of this. Good. 3.7 minutes. So that means that it's like 29 something. And there's this road we'll be following as well. It looks good. Right, coming up on my first user fix in a half a minute or so. It's at the end of these legs. I believe this will be it. see any added traffic. Right, believe we are there. So it's 29:25. Just make a note there. 29:25. So it took me 3 minutes, 0.7, something like that. And now 174. Okay, so I should fly 174 now. It's around there. And Svardik track will be following the road and keep the Lake George on our right. It's this one, and following the road. Where is the road? Yeah, it's hidden behind the trees, I think. So let's keep this lake to our right. It's a good referencing point. There is some antenna. It's gonna be this one. So let's correct the course a little bit. So we are overflying the antenna. And I'll get back to 174 after I'm there. I descended a bit. Let's add power. Okay. Let's turn 174. Let's climb back up. That's enough. Okay, I need to fly straight and level for a while, because I need to sync my magnetic compass. So let's try to point. Okay, it's gonna be difficult. 170, 17. Okay, it's more or less correct, so let's keep it like that. Right, we're flying some lakes on the left and the big lake on the right. Some lakes on the left, big lake on the right. 4.4 minutes. That means something 34. Yeah, just one more minute, or something like that. And it's when I'm a beam of these two, between these two, so still a bit to go. Yeah, those updrafts and downdrafts are really strong in this area. Climbing. Okay, I believe I might be there, so let's go 34. 34, 00. And then we are flying 173, so basically the same 172 in my case. Doesn't make really any difference. And this river there is my next reporting point. At this point I can probably switch to Orlando tag, so it's there that I'm aiming right now. Let's try to aim there. Alright, time to check if we have ATC. We don't. So when I cross this white part of the river, it's gonna be my next user fix. Okay, so how many people we have flying? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6. Good, good. Many have shown up. I think I need to put it slightly to the right. Yeah, might have drifted a bit. I think now it's correct. Okay. When I cross that, my next heading will be 138. 138, that means... yeah, I can keep 138.
Expected this traffic, Claudia 26 X-ray, about 1 miles northwest at 1000, while landing on the 07.
Okay, I believe we are there. So time is 37:50. So let's put 37:50. A little bit. Okay, it's just there, and I need to turn to 138. A little bit lower again. Turn a little bit more because I started late. Basically following this river. Okay, we're following the river. Should be on our right side. So turn a little bit more for a while. The time, it should take us... okay, where do I enter time? Okay, so that was departure. Okay, it's departure. Okay, that's not the difference. So this should actually be time and my fourth fix. Okay, and now the difference is 5.4. Okay, I'm at 2,000 feet. It's a downdraft here, so let's add power. I'll be flying all the way to this long lake. It's gonna be that one.
Executive traffic, order X-ray about southwest northwest 1,100. You're going to enter left downwind 110 and 45 degrees. Order Executive.
Okay, I'll just check where exactly is that reporting point. It's somewhat like on the north side of this lake between the river and it. So someplace there. Okay, I've slowed down. Okay, magnetic compass 13. Okay, that's really changing. 130, 130. It's more or less all right. Good.
I am 22 minutes out.
All right.
Okay, he's 22
Might
minutes.
really arrive at the same time as us.
Okay, my last time was 3750. Okay, looks good. In that case, 3750 plus 5.3, it's 43 something, 4310. 40, I have 42. Okay, so one more minute, that looks reasonable. Looks very reasonable. Okay, just reduce power quite a little bit. And then I'll turn 207. 207, that means 20, that's 2 degrees less, so 205. Okay. Not in the river. I think that might be there, so let's start turning, and the time is 43:25. 43:25.
Executive traffic, order X-ray on left 45 degree entry left.
Let's move it there. Okay, continue to round all the way to 207.
Orlando Executive Traffic, Skyhawk 16 Lima Mike at Lake Friendly 1700 for Delta entry and joining pattern runway 07, Executive Traffic.
Orlando executive traffic, Kodak 36 X-ray, turning left downwind runway 07, Orlando executive.
Right, fuel looking good. Not like last time. There's like nowhere to land. There is some field. Okay, so how long do I fly? 7.7 minutes. Okay, it's a long leg. And it should take me, okay, to this ring leg. Alright, so I really need to try and fly as precisely as possible.
Right, turning left base, runway 07, Orlando executive traffic.
As precisely as possible, so I get to that ring leg.
Orlando executive traffic, November 91 Bravo Charlie to Cessna 152. Currently 10 miles to the north over Lake Bentley at 2,000 feet. We'll join left downwind at 45 degrees for runway 7. Orlando exec.
Orlando executive traffic, Kodak 36 X-ray, turning fine runway 07, Orlando executive.
Right, magnetic heading seems to correlate, more or less. If only it stayed stable for a while. Let's look at like... May need to be straight and level for this to have any meaning. I think it's maybe just no, like that. Okay. Now I'm trying. Trying to keep 205 heading.
Orlando executive traffic, Kodak 36 X-ray, runway 07, located at Echo Taxis to North SPL. Orlando executive traffic.
Executive traffic, November 6529 Lima, over Lake Brantley, inbound for a full stop, runway 7, Lake Brantley.
Okay, so almost 8 minutes. That means that it will be around 51 here. So 3 more minutes, and I need to keep flying correctly. Are there any other landmarks in the vicinity? Not really. Like there. Well, okay, or maybe lakes there. I don't see any lakes there, so can I have any lakes on the left? Okay, it might be those actually. Let's see, it looks like it's them.
Executive traffic, Skyhawk 160 Mike, joining left downwind 07 with 45 degree entry. Executive traffic.
It might not even be a ring lake as I saw it on the sectional. We'll see. We can still fly like 2 minutes something. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so there is some road here, but it seems that it's under construction. Could it be that? Or what else could it be? Must be that. Okay, 205. Must be that. Okay, it's going through the lakes. Yes, okay, so that's this road. In that case, I don't think I will have the ring lake on the map.
Executive traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie, joining left downwind at 45 degrees, so runway 7.
Wait, is this?
Traffic.
It's like less than 1 minute until my, it must be maybe this area.
Executive traffic, Skyhawk 160 Mike turning left base, runway 77, executive traffic.
I think it might be it. I'll consider that it's that area.
Executive traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie is extending downwind due to traffic. Executive.
And it's some. Okay, this one will be that one. Okay, so it's let's call that at 51. I'll turn 166. So now 5100. Put it there.
Executive traffic, Skyhawk 160 Mike on final runway 07, full stop landing, executive traffic.
And now I'm aiming, I believe, for this lake, which will be Lake Brantley, and I need to be under 2000 when reaching that. Well, I'm almost there, so it's alright. Okay, so that must be the ring lake,
Executive
this
traffic,
one.
91 Bravo Charlie,
Nice.
left base, runway 7. Executive.
Oh, actually, could it be? Oh, what is that? This is Lake Brantley. It's Orlando. Okay, let's get weather. KORL, winds 030, 11 gusting. Okay, so it's runway 7 and the winds will be from the left. Okay.
Executive traffic, 91 Bravo Charlie, turning final, runway 7, full stop.
What FBO you're parking at?
Well, I'll be using Shelled Air when I get there.
Okay.
Alright, so what we have there, just 4.6
Executive
minutes.
traffic, Skyhawk 160 Mike located 07 to the left via Echo, executive traffic.
It seems like I'm quite fast. Is this the lake? Yes, it is. It is that lake. Okay, so my reporting point is actually the southern
Executive
end.
traffic, November 6529 Lima is entering left downwind for runway 7, exact.
Let's keep this altitude for now. Orlando executive traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra Cessna 152, approximately 1-2 miles north of the field over Lake Brantley. Will be entering left downwind runway 7, currently 1,900 feet, executive traffic. Alright, I don't want to climb over 2,000 here. when I cross that, it's gonna be 170, right? I believe it's time for landing lines. Good. Okay, altimeter was 30.
Executive traffic, number 6529 Lima is turning left base, runway 7, exact.
Okay, 170, turning there. And we have 5450. 5450.
Executive traffic 91.
3.2 minutes.
Vacated the runway until Echo. Executive traffic.
Okay, 170.
Executive traffic, November 6529 Lima, returning final, runway 7, full stop, exact.
Okay, still flying there. So how the hell do I know that? Another lake, a lot of lakes. I guess it's gonna be timing. So it should be 3.2 minutes. That means approximately at 57:58. So in 2 minutes. 2 minutes I'll be somewhere there, and there are some roads as well, which might be the indicative. That might be the airport. Okay, 1,500. Let's not get any lower than that. Let's do full mixture at this point, so I don't forget. .70, yes. All right. It's gonna be someplace there, I think, and then we'll turn for the airport, and this should be this airport. Okay, 50. One more minute. Yeah, I'll be over there. That's that correlates quite well, and then it's gonna be 125. Correction for 125 is 126. But let's check the page. It's 170. One more. Yep, 70. Good. I'm at 1,500. This is good. This is under the class cross Bravo here. 1,500. Good.
Executive traffic, November 6529 Lima has vacated the runway, executive.
Right, let's turn 126 at 5750. 5750. Yep, and 126. That's there. And I should have the, yeah, runway right ahead of me. So that's good, okay. So I'm seeing the correct airport. And now we'll just need to maneuver for left downwind. So let's actually veer off the course. The airport altitude is 113, so the pattern altitude is 1100. Almost there, to be honest. The winds are reported 130, so approximately 030, so 035 if I count variation. So they're coming from the left, so I need to fly a little bit into the wind. That's correct. And let's not lose sight of the airport, that's it, right? So like, just... Alright, that should be the airport. Right, landing lights are on. Make sure it's full reach. I'll turn on the Cockpit. Now, lest I forget. Right.
Orlando traffic, Southwest 1228, departing runway 35, left Orlando.
Okay, let's descend to pattern altitude. Very well visible. Yeah, just fly a tight pattern. Okay, that's the pattern altitude. Don't see anyone else. Okay, let's do some 45-degree entry. Orlando executive traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra, entering left downwind runway 7 at 45. Orlando executive. That's about it. Okay, that's the runway, not exactly midfield, which I'm joining at arrival and, well, nobody's perfect. Okay, let's turn that downwind. Okay, I need to go a little bit more, correct for wind. Right, flaps 1. I'll just land with flaps 1 today because it's quite windy, so I need to keep higher speed. Quite far from the runway. Okay, let's make sure final. Orlando executive traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra, turning left base runway 07, executive.
Eject traffic, Walker 3092 is 10 miles to the north, descending out of 10,000. We'll be entering left base for runway 7.
Executive traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra, turning final runway 07, full stop landing, executive. Okay, quite high, but I have a lot of wind blowing in my face. Should be able to do that. Okay, let's see. Wind is coming from the left, so I will need to correct to the right. doesn't want to descend. Let's put in some
Orlando traffic,
cruise controls.
2319, taxi runway 35 left from airside to via Golf. Orlando.
Orlando Executive, India Charlie Alpha 5 entering base for runway 7. Orlando Executive.
A lot of wind. Just turn. Well, let's make that turn. Okay, landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Flaps up. Executive traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Sierra vacated runway 7, taxiing to shelter. Crossing runway 3113 right now at Alpha Executive. I don't even know if it's Alpha. Let's quickly check. It's Alpha, good. Okay, buddy there. There, good.
Executive Orlando, India Charlie Alpha final for runway 7, full stop landing. Executive Orlando.
Where are they? Okay, so where do we taxi actually? Alpha, Kilo, Foxtrot, okay. Let's go Kilo. Right, let's open those windows.
Exec Traffic Walker 3092 is on a 10-mile left base, runway 7, executive.
Foxtrot is there, good. Let's do some wind correction properly.
Orlando traffic, Southwest 2319, departing runway 35 left IFR to the east. Orlando.
Orlando Executive, India Charlie Alpha 5 vacated, runway 7 moving, taxiing to shelter, crossing runway 13.
That's Eugene, if I'm not mistaken, waiting there for me.
Walker 3092, 5-mile final, runway 7, executive.
Delta, let's try southwest, 2319 is clear, runway 35 left, departing via the Danny 3 departure, leaving the airspace to the east, Orlando traffic.
Okay. Skill the engine, carpet. On. All the switches are going off. To close the windows. Right. Oh, what is that? Can I do some engine cover, left chokes, right chokes, speed dot cover, good. Fuel, okay. And this goes off. Alright, thank you for watching, as this was a VATSTAR group flight. Next one on next Wednesday or Tuesday. Stay tuned, it'll be back. Bye bye.